So we got everything home, but now without foul. Slip clutch went out. Oh yeah, she's all melted. Bearing went out on one side. Welcome back, guys. We got a beautiful day today. Look at that. Got nice big fluffy clouds, and we got the spray in their lineup. But just a beautiful day today. Perfect time to finally get the planter in the shop. We worked hard at it. Between snowstorms, we finally got it in here. So what we're working on here is, right now we're just kind of going to clean out the meters, get the vacuum out, clean all that stuff out, and obviously the last we planted beans, but just basically get this cleaned out and then we'll switch it over to corn. But first off, we got one major problem. To start off, here's the variable drive slip clutch, I think is what it's called, and it's right before it drives your transmission. But this bearing decided it wanted to go out. I'd say it's been out for a while just by looking at it, and it took out the slip clutch, or the variable drive clutch I should say. Don't say it wrong, guys. But folks, when I tell you this ain't cheap, it really ain't cheap. It's kind of an expensive mess up. Really, we should have disengaged the wheels, that way this wasn't running. But what happened was, these two go together, spring goes in between them or on top of them, but and then the friction when one tries to spin a little bit faster than the other, then this kind of grabs. But as you can see, I'm sure you can kind of see the discoloration. One side got a little warm, and basically the spring, though it looks good, it kind of disformed it just a hair, so it is junk. No questions asked. We're thinking about trying to get away with this shaft. It just needs to be cleaned. Really not much tolerance there, but the tolerance that matters is this one. It's got a nice, probably 10,000 smaller wear going on, and it melted the cover. Now this is what's beautiful. It really didn't want to come apart because it melted so bad into the spring. So that's junk. Other than that, I think we're going to luck out and be able to save this side, the shaft, everything else. But new one of these, new O-rings, whole 9 yards, and of course a new bearing. But that just happens, I guess, sometimes. So be careful, guys. Don't pull your planter out late and then go quick. So yeah, we're just going to go through. We've already checked everything over via the depth wheels here. We probably need to check depth again, but that'll be probably a later project. And then check where the closing wheels are sitting at for center. So I centered them last year, but they probably need to be redone just for safety standards. But yeah, so we got a little bit of beans in everyone. So I'll take you guys through this once and one time only. So if you know how to do this, well, congratulations, but you're along for the ride. So the first thing I like to start with is the paper clip. The little paper clip has to go up, so it's in the up position. It's a seed deflector. Next is the singulator. Now this one's pretty simple. You just gotta get this little rod into the back slot. In there. That way it's up and ready for business. Next, you gotta move this brush right here. Pull it out. Try not to use the bristles, but if it happens, it happens. And then kind of got to insert it like so, kind of like that. Now the reason being, oh, I might have got a bean back there. The big plate, or the way the plate sits in here, the end is longer, so it goes in farther. You can leave the little deflector in, because with the bean plate it sticks back so far that you'll be fine. But you should be good to go then. You're all ready for corn. And the door setting, some people like it all the way open, some like it at 2, so it's all in preference, I guess. I just like to keep all the seed I can in here at the moment in there. And now I just got 11 more to go. You guys want to help me do the rest of them? Shouldn't be too bad. Another thing I forgot to mention here is get these Esets painted here. Got a little graphite lubricant, John Deere, so we know it's good, right? Well, it's expensive at least. You get these all cleaned up and then get them painted with their lubricant. They didn't fare too bad last year. I mean, it ain't like they're covering millions of acres, so just a little bit of wear and we'll get those painted up maybe today. It's a nice day, nice warm day for it, so usually like to kind of cook them in a little bit. Back in here it's a little bit nicer. Started cleaning my bench, but got these discs all laid out in their corresponding rows and they're all dry. They come out pretty nice. I'm glad we did them yesterday. It was a lot warmer out. They got 2 coats on them and then we washed them with just warm soapy water before we painted them there. But other than that, they came out pretty nice and they should be dry enough to install, and then we can put these boxes back on and we'll just be waiting for parts. Got some coming for John Deere. I think most of these parts are coming from John Deere, and then we got some chute parts, shaft for this wheel, so we put that back on. But those haven't come in yet, and when they do, then this thing can be done. So we got these all installed here, and then we're on those. I got 2 of them that are looking like this. So one thing you want to check when you're putting these Esets back in with their corn discs here is you want to make sure these simulators aren't covering more than half the hole. That just means they're a little bit more worn and they might need either filing or replaced. And in this case, this one you can see is covering way more than half the hole. So you're really gonna have to make your seed stick on there, and that's just, you can turn your vacuum up, but then you're gonna affect all your other rows. And so really you just wanna keep an eye on this when you're installing. It's quick and easy to do. I think I got 2 rows. I had 1 row that's the opposite. It's not staying over as much, but I guess ain't the worst thing in the world. One thing you can do to test is you take a little bit of a drill bit and you put it in there and you see if it can catch. And yeah, it catches, that is for sure. So that's, or you can just go by view, and I mean, more than half, you're really gonna make your seed work to stay on there. Well, we got all the boxes on except for a few. I left those 3 off because of those simulator problem. I'm gonna get to that and getting those parts ordered and whatnot. But the reason this one's off, I have a little attendant I need to evict. He decided to make his little home at the very end of the tube. So right in here, he made his little home at the very end here. So I'm gonna try and maybe pop this cap off and see what he isn't doing in there. But hopefully nobody's home and we're good to go there. Just got to remove the leftovers from their vacation stay. But other than that, this one should be pretty much ready to go. I do have maybe some 2020 seed sense stuff to put on, but other than that, I'm still waiting on cables. Here we got the main components of our variable drive clutch. I already got the seals installed here on this little plastic shroud piece. You can kind of see how they're installed there, but then there's this little hole in there for your spring, and that's where this little baby hook's in. Now, all you have to do is reassemble everything. Clutch goes in the middle. Get your spring in here, slide that on, put this end on, and then 2 snap rings hold the whole thing together. So I got it together, but it was a little bit of a struggle. Make sure you put your seals in the right way. That'd be my one comment of suggestion. But kind of what I had to do is I kind of just, you have to get them started onto the spring. And then once you get them started on the spring, you can kind of spin it. You grab both sides and you spin them and they just kind of spin together. So you just kind of spin them together. But that's how I got mine to go together, and it was a little bit of a struggle, I'll be honest. It was not easy. But here's the shaft, a little bit more reconditioned, and if done right, it should slide right through it. If I did it right, I guess. But they're a little bit not lined up at the moment. So, and that's all probably due to the spring. But other than that, I think once I get these lined up, there. Yeah, slides back and forth. A little friction going on, but I guess that's to be expected in a slip clutch. Other than that, it should be good, okay to go. Well, I got the hard part done for you guys. Got it all installed. I'll roll under there quick and show you what it all entailed. So the clutch is all in here. We had to remove this plate, which is kind of a process to get the plate out because it kind of bolts onto the transmission and the one bolt doesn't go all the way out. And so it's a whole process to get that all out. But once it, basically our problem was the shaft wasn't all cleaned up, and you really could just slide everything off if you get the shaft slid all the way over, and then you could take it all apart. It would have been a lot easier, but I cleaned it all up before I reinstalled it and whatnot, and it all actually went back together really smoothly, besides the couple times where you forget to put a bolt where you're supposed to and that kind of stuff. But other than that, this is kind of what it looks like all reinstalled, and hopefully it all works out nice. Well, folks, congratulations and a thank you for sticking around. I think we're just going to let you guys go, and we'll get back to you when we get some more parts in. And hopefully we got some warmer weather and get my warm weather cap back on. But other than that, ain't much more exciting, so catch you guys on the next one.